Tonight, I'm going to be doing things a bit differently. Instead of reviewing just SmackDown, I'm going to be going down a new path. I'm going to be going down a different road, and I'm going to be introducing a new playlist to the channel, and I'm going to be calling this All Wrestling Reviews. Now, what do I mean by All Wrestling Reviews? Some of you may be asking, what does that mean, Patrick? Well, usually, this channel is usually me talking about WWE. 100% of the time, it's WWE. Sometimes I'll make a few videos about All Elite Wrestling, depending on if I'm in the mood for it, I'll make a video about it. But this one is different. This video is going to be me talking about all different kinds of wrestling, not just WWE. I'll be going over all different kinds of wrestling that I watch. All because I feel like it's a bit different this time, and I feel like reviewing something other than just WWE. So this whole video is going to be me going over everything that has transpired this week. Now, yes, I know Collision hasn't happened yet, but I will add that in my next... Well, if there's anything that I'm interested in on Collision, I'll add that in my next All Wrestling Review. Now, some of you may be asking, Patrick, is this going to include NXT? Because I know some people will be asking, is this going to include NXT? Yes and no, depending on if I'm in the mood for it. Depending if I'm in the mood for it, I'll include NXT in these All Wrestling Reviews. These All Wrestling Reviews is going to be me talking about all different kinds of wrestling if I'm interested in it. If there's anything on the card that interests me, I will watch it. It doesn't have to be the whole show. It doesn't have to be the whole show. It doesn't have to be the whole show. It can be me giving my positives and negatives about all different kinds of wrestling. And I feel like this would be a lot more fun than just me wasting my breath on just WWE. And yes, I will be talking about WWE SmackDown, unfortunately, because there's a lot of things I really did not like about this show tonight. The Roman Reigns show is back once again. So yeah. Buckle up. I hope you guys enjoy this new review channel, this new review playlist I'm going to be calling All Wrestling Reviews. If you're into a certain, if you're in for it, if you're interested in any certain ones, then just, how would I handle this? Maybe put a timestamp on when I start talking about certain wrestling companies. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll put a timestamp on different on each one, depending on your interest. We'll see. Or you can just skip it until you hear something that you like, depending. But I would also appreciate But I would also appreciate it if you watched the entire video. All right. So we're going to be starting things off with Stardom, because I watched a bit of Stardom today, or tonight I should say, and I only watched one match. Anna Jay was on tonight. Stardom's YouTube had Anna Jay on the thumbnail, so I was like, oh, she's having a match, cool. Now, I didn't know the name of the person she was competing against, because one of my biggest complaints about Stardom is everything's in Japanese, so I can't understand anything that the commentators are saying. So, yeah, that's my biggest problem with it. But she had a match against she was holding one of the Stardom belts, so clearly she's a champion. So clearly she was one of the champions. And she was in this blue block, and like blue A, something called Blue A. It was called the 5-Star Grand Prix Cup, or some kind of, it must be some kind of tournament. I don't watch Stardom on a daily basis. I don't watch Stardom constantly. For those people that watch Stardom constantly, you guys can let me know down below what all this even means. But Anna Jay, to my shocking surprise, ended up winning this match. She ended up winning the whole match, which definitely surprised me, because I really did not expect it. But hey, good for her. Nice to see Anna Jay getting some wins, and tell you one thing, it's a good plus for her, and good plus for me. Maybe I'll see, hopefully, more Anna Jay come. Now I'm going to be diving into All Elite Wrestling, and there's going to be a few things that we're going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about the 2 things that happened on Dynamite, and only 1 thing that happened on Rampage, because other than this one match, everything else on Rampage looked pretty garbage. So the one thing that happened on Rampage that I watched was Saraya versus Nyla Rose. And YouTube posted 9 minutes and 30 seconds of it, so clearly it was nearly the whole match. Now, I've heard a lot of stories about Nyla Rose. I've heard the stories about her. I've heard a lot of things from a friend of mine that has said she's not that great of a wrestler, and yeah, from what I can see, yeah, she's not all that impressive. When I look at her, I think of her as another version of Nia Jax, like an AEW variant of Nia Jax. Is she better than Nia Jax? Hard to say. Maybe they're on par, maybe they're even, or maybe just as bad as each other, who knows. But regardless, Saraya ended up winning this match. And I will say, was I surprised about this one, or did I really think Saraya was going to win? I wanted Saraya to win, but I kind of thought maybe she was going to lose, because Saraya has kind of been booked as someone who's been, you know, she's kind of been booked as someone that has been putting over people lately. You know, someone who's been losing a lot lately, and, you know, elevating other people on the roster. That's kind of how Saraya has been booked as of late. But yeah, other than that one time she beat Mariah May, and then then Twitter had an entire meltdown about it, saying that Mariah May got buried and how she's now a jobber because she lost to Saraya, but yet Mariah May is in one of the biggest storylines going right now, which I will be talking about shortly, with Toni Storm. So, yeah. And also Mariah May got her win back against Saraya, so I wouldn't be all that upset too much. So yeah, Saraya defeated Nyla Rose, and that's really all I can really say. The match was decent. It was decent. Saraya, yeah, she's not as great as she used to be, though she was never really that great, even in her prime. Even though she was never really that great in her prime in WWE. But when you got 2 people that are not exactly really good athletes, I mean, I will say, yes, Saraya has definitely gotten a lot worse since her injury. But you can kind of see she's trying to play it safe now because of her injury. You know, and Saraya kind of gets hate for no reason. I consider it no reason, because people seem to be okay with Edge and Trish and Lita all coming back. But Saraya, no. Apparently she's not allowed to come out of retirement, but whatever. Whatever. You know, if you've never liked her from the beginning, then I can get it. Then I can completely understand. But hey, it's whatever. Everyone is different. The small little things, other things as well that I want to talk about, but I'll talk about those pretty soon. We'll continue on by talking about AEW and the things that transpired on Dynamite, was two things that I was interested in. That was Mariah May's feud with Toni Storm, and I've really been enjoying this feud. I love this feud. I've been loving this feud. My only nitpick about the whole feud is that Mariah May just did this whole cosplay of Toni Storm that went on for months. That was really my only complaint. Like, it was funny the first time, but her continuously doing it afterwards kind of got a bit tiring. So yeah, it is what it is there. But other than that, I thought it was fine. Other than that, it's been a great feud. And Mariah May turned heel, while also being a heel, on Toni Storm, turning Toni Storm babyface. And Mariah May won her match against an enhancement talent, and Mariah was given a picture, like a big giant poster of Toni Storm hugging Mariah May, and on the back it said "Die Mariah, die," and then she saw it, and then Toni Storm and Mariah then had a massive brawl. Toni Storm has become a complete nutcase since what Mariah May did to her, and I love it. I love it. This is a nutcase character done right. This is a nutcase character done right. So awesome stuff there between Toni Storm and Mariah May. I'm really hoping Mariah May wins this match, because God help me, I don't want to hear people whine and complain about Mariah being buried again. Because it was sickening enough when people took it so seriously when Saraya beat her. And look, I love Toni Storm. I love Toni Storm. She's Australian. I love her. But I think this is the perfect time for Toni Storm to drop the title. And I think Mariah May is the next perfect person to carry on that title's legacy for Toni Storm. I think Toni Storm's had a great run, and I think now it's time for it to come to an end. And as for the other things that took place on AEW, which happened on Dynamite, these are also really good things. These are really good things as well. That was one of the, and Mariah May was one of those things I talked about that happened on Dynamite. And the other thing I want to talk about that took place on Dynamite, that was Mercedes Moné and her new bodyguard Camille, who kind of reminds me of either Psycho Sid or Kevin Nash, because a lot of people seem to compare these two to Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash, or Shawn Michaels and Psycho Sid. But they're not called two girls with attitude. Like how Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash were called two dudes with attitude. So Camille beat up an enhancement girl, and then Mercedes cut a promo on Britt Baker. You know, all the people that have been saying that Mercedes has no aura, that Mercedes promo sucks, or Mercedes is cringe, or anything along those lines. I just want to I'm gonna put a bet on right now and say that the people that are saying all this stuff about Mercedes wouldn't be saying that about her if she was in WWE. All the people that rag on her and crap on her are people that are just butthurt that she is not back in WWE. That's what I chalk it up to. I just chalk it up to as, yeah, you're all just butthurt that she's not in WWE anymore. That's the only reason why you keep shitting on her for no reason. And then Britt Baker had her turn to respond to Mercedes. And I will say this was one of my only negative parts about this. This was my biggest negative about this whole thing. It didn't take Britt Baker long, and I'm surprised it didn't take AEW. I'm surprised it took AEW this long to bring it up. I thought they would have brought it up immediately with Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander, or even with Julia Hart and Sky Blue, when Mercedes was kind of feuding with them when she was sort of a babyface, but not really, when she first walked in. But Britt Baker brought up the time when Mercedes walked out of WWE and said that when things don't go your way, you're going to pack your bags and walk out. You're going to pack your bags and walk away. because, you know, gotta bring that up. And one of my other biggest complaints is how Britt Baker is so damn repetitive when it comes to her promos, because for those who don't know, when I started watching, I started tuning in a bit more frequently when kind of during the period when Saraya kind of walked in a little bit, and I started watching a bit frequently. I've been seeing Britt's promos when she had promos with Saraya and all that. One of my and the reason why I say she's very repetitive is because, well, she is incredibly repetitive. In her promo with Mercedes, she said that she's not the future, which is bullshit. She is the future. She's the GOAT, the CEO, the GOAT. And she also stated that she doesn't belong in the AEW. She goes on to say that she doesn't belong in AEW and how she's the first woman signed by AEW. And this is my biggest problem with Britt. It's been 5 years and you're still telling everybody that you were the first person signed by AEW. Like, why are you still telling us this? Like, you're supposed to be the babyface, right? You're supposed to be the babyface. You know, constantly telling people that is supposed to make you, is a very heelish thing. Like, I don't like how Britt Baker just continuously cuts the same promos all the time. This is the same shit she said to Saraya. You don't belong here. You're an outsider. You're an outsider from another company. You came from another company and you're an outsider. You don't belong here. I'm the first person signed to AEW. This was the same shit she said to Saraya. And even to Toni Storm when she eventually came. And I'm pretty sure she might have said it to Athena when Athena eventually walked in, formerly known as Ember Moon. But all I'm saying is, she says this all the time. You're an outsider, you don't belong here. She said that to Mercedes as well. Like, can't you be original? Like, can you come up with something new? Like, come up with something new for God's sake. Why do you keep saying the same thing all the time? And don't get me wrong, Britt is a great wrestler. She's a great wrestler, a great storyteller. But she really needs to come up with more better things to say than the same old repetitive, you're an outsider, you don't belong here, I'm the first woman signed by AEW. But let's not forget, she even crapped on Mercedes for walking out. But yet you're gonna say she doesn't belong in AEW? But yet you're gonna make fun of her for walking out? But you're gonna say she doesn't belong in AEW? That makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. This is why Britt needs to come up with more better material, in my opinion. And it doesn't help that Britt Baker can't behave her bloody self. Doesn't help that she can't behave herself because she got suspended for talking shit to MJF and to her girlfriend who got recently signed. So that doesn't help. That Mercedes has to carry the whole feud because she can't behave herself. Another thing about AEW that I actually genuinely am enjoying is, well, he's the only best thing about AEW's men's division at the moment, and that is MJF. Yeah! Sorry. I probably just rattled a few LA Knight fans to that. But, anyway, MJF, I think he's one of the best things about AEW's men's division, and he's doing this whole character where, you know the whole character where anti-Americans come in and they talk shit about America and how they hate America and yada yada yada. I'm not even American and even I'm tired of that. But MJF basically turns it on its head and does the exact opposite. Instead of being an anti-American, he's full I am American, God bless America, and he hates people from other countries like Australia, Canada, UK, etc, etc, etc. He doesn't like people from the internationals, which is why they introduced a title called the International Championship. When he won that title from Will Ospreay, who by the way is a great wrestler, and I really love his theme song, Elevate Me to the Sky, I love that song. And, yeah, he's like the exact opposite. Instead of him being a anti-American, he's I bleed America, and he doesn't like people from the internationals, from international countries, because he called the fans treasonous. He called the fans treasonous because he doesn't like American fans cheering for people that are cheering for non-American wrestlers. Even though I believe Jon Moxley held that title, even though I think Jon Moxley was one of the only Americans that won that title, I could very well be wrong, but I do remember Jon Moxley winning that title, but hey. But hey, you know, it's a cool idea. And he introduced a new title called the AEW American Championship, which of course, you know, he can't use United States because WWE has that. It's basically the same thing, though. It's basically the same thing. So overall, when it comes to AEW, there's a lot of good stuff I'm enjoying right now. And there's a lot of stuff I'm enjoying, but there's also some negatives that I don't really like as well, so there you go. As for TNA, I saw a few things on TNA. I saw Joe Hendry go against Wolfgang from NXT, and Ash by Elegance seems to be continuing her feud with Jordan Grace. And for those who are retarded and they don't know who Ash by Elegance is, that was formerly Dana Brooke. And now, when it comes to WWE, Cody Rhodes is defending his title against Kevin Owens, even though Kevin Owens says that he didn't deserve a title shot because of his win-loss record. So, why is he getting a title shot exactly? If Kevin Owens believes that he doesn't deserve a title shot because of his win-loss record, why is he getting a title shot? To me, that doesn't make any sense. It's almost like they're just saying, you know what, we don't care about win-loss records, you're getting a title match anyway. And we also had Jade Cargill squash Alba Fire, and I did not like this at all. Look, I get it's Jade Cargill, okay? I get it's Jade Cargill, but I don't like that they had to beat up their champions. They had to squash one of their champions to make a point. The one thing I hate about this whole thing right now with the women's division is that they're doing this weird faction war rivalry that I don't have no idea where it's leading to. Why is Blair Davenport with Unholy Union? They never really explained why Blair is with them. There's no explanation, no storyline reason to why Blair joined them. She's just with them now. Why, is she with them because she's a goth girl, just like Alba and Isla? Oh, they're all goth girls. Let's put all the goth girls together. Naomi returned to help out Jade and Bianca, you know, the same three that battled Damage Control at WrestleMania. And God, I feel bad for Naomi. God, I feel bad for her, how she was robbed out of a storyline with Bayley. But instead of going with Bayley and Naomi at SummerSlam, they decided to scrap that and go with Nia Jax. Please. Pathetic. And as I said, I don't know why they're doing this whole faction war rivalry. It really means, I don't know why. What is this even leading to? Well, like, why is Blair with Unholy Union? You got Naomi now with Jade and Bianca. And then on Raw, you got Lyra Valkyria with Katana and Kaden. You got Sonya with Zoe and Shayna. And then you got Damage Control. What is the point of this? What is this leading to? And you can't tell me War Games. You can't tell me it's leading to War Games, because as far as I'm aware, War Games is only allowed 2 teams. What, are they going to change it up this year and say, oh, you can have X amount of teams in War Games this year? I don't get where this is leading to. And that's why I don't care about it. And that's why I don't care about it, because I don't get what it's leading to. I don't get what its purpose is supposed to be. You know what this is reminding me of? It's reminding me of Team Bella, Team PCB, and Team Bad. That's what it's reminding me of. If it's reminding me of that, then you know you're doing something wrong. And then Triple H has the frickin' balls to add a women's championship for WWE Speed. Like, are you serious, you old coot? This stupid bald man is adding a women's title to the speed division? What's the point of that? What's the point of this? Everyone's been craving for a mid-card title, and here it is! WWE Speed, here's your women's mid-card title, everybody. Yeah, congratulations, Indy. Congratulations on wrestling 3-minute matches. Congratulations, Candice. Congratulations, Tegan. Congratulations to all the other girls that get no TV time. Congratulations, you're going to be getting 3-minute matches on a show that no one watches. A show that no one gives a flying toss about. Pathetic. And I don't want to hear it from all the anti-haters of AEW about how AEW had too many championships. Triple H continuously adds championships that mean nothing. What's the point of the Speed Championship? It means nothing. And now he's doing a women's title for it. There you go, guys. There's your mid-card title for the women's division. I hope you're all happy. I hope you're all happy. Because I sure as hell am not. I'm not going to talk too much about SmackDown. The main event was, of course, the Bloodline. Roman Reigns came out and just destroyed Solo Sikoa's Bloodline. The Roman Reigns show is back. So it's back to being the Roman Reigns show. And how poetic that it took 10 years for this company to get Roman Reigns cheered. But hey, at least Giovanni Vinci's finally coming at least. About bloody time. Took them long enough. And that's the end, guys. That's the end of this all wrestling review, and I hope you guys really liked this new format that I'm going to be going with. And as I said, it'll be all different kinds of wrestling that I've been watching, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on the things that I've been interested in going forward. It's not going to be me just talking about the entire show. It's just going to be me picking out the things that I've generally been enjoying. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all on the other side.